My name is Carlos Santoro, and I'm here to ask the question: should the women soccer team be paid as much as the men's team? The women's soccer team has become one of the most successful teams amongst the others in international sports. They actually have won numerous awards, such as 4 World Cups, 8 CONCACAF Women's Gold Cups, 4 Olympic medals, and recently they've actually gained political attention due to the demand and equal pay. There are those that may argue that women who play the same sport as a man should be paid equally. I am here to tell you that what you have heard is wrong. When it comes to women's soccer team, the pay should not be equal to the men's. The sports industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and that is due to the high output, quality, and coverage of these sports. There are many factors that influence overall performance and the coverage of the sports. After further research, I have concluded that the overall performance of the women's team is of lesser demand. When you have lesser demand in an industry that is led mainly by ratings and production, the pay gap will be significantly different. For example, just in the social media world, the U.S. women's national team page only has 279,000 followers compared to the men's U.S. national team, which has 2.1 million followers. While the women's only has 279,000, this will significantly reduce the ratings in television. It was not actually until the recent years that the women's soccer team started picking up their viewers. For example, when contrasting ratings between a match played around the same time in the same year, such as the quarterfinals for the Women's World Cup against France in 2019, they only had 6.9 million viewers. The men's team, on the other hand, had close to 9 million viewers in their final against Mexico in the same year. Due to the amount of people leaning towards the men's team, national team, the ratings for the women's team tends to be lower. Additionally, there are even some women's soccer games that are not even televised due to the forecast or prediction that the crowd will be smaller, giving priority to other events or even male sports teams. I believe that due to the TV ratings and not getting enough exposure like the men's team has really hurt the women's national team. When this happens, it really impacts their ability to fill a stadium. In essence, nobody really wants to watch a game with an empty stadium. The inability to increase the crowd size and TV viewings really does not help with the revenue portion. Essentially, this means that if there is not enough revenue generated, there's not enough to increase the salaries, since even though they play for the same country, they're separate entities. When you have everything that I just mentioned going wrong for you at the same time, it will significantly impact your general sales regardless of whatever else is going on. If the women's national team wants to increase their possibilities of closing the pay gap, first they need to increase their game attendance. This will significantly increase the revenue that is made and increase the merchandise sales. When you have small game turnout, ticket prices will decrease significantly, to whereas if you had a big turnout, you could actually increase the ticket prices to generate even more revenue. When you have a bigger crowd, you are more likely to get the media coverage and attention that you deserve, meaning this would also increase your revenue. In order to receive good pay, they must really generate revenue at all of their events to the point where they're no longer needing to do as many ticket sales. The point here is that if the women in the U.S. soccer team want to earn the same as the men's, they must work harder. They must increase all of their factors to generate the same, if not more, revenue than the men's team. In the end, while some people may say that we are at a point where women should be paid equally to men for executing the exact same job, I am of the opinion that realistically, in the world of soccer, we're not at that point just yet. We really need to see what the future holds. In the meantime, we can just hope the best for these ladies.